What is the difference?
Introduce the episode.
MikiDz Show, MikiDz Podcast. MikiDz. DJ Rell is also in this mug.
You know.
Spiffy, a.k.a. Abner, a.k.a. Handy. Danny
Inspector
Mandy.
Gadget is what I like to call him.
Yes, sir.
This nigga got every gadget in the world.
But episode 11.
Yes, say. Once, right?
How
you say it?
Once.
Excuse me. Once.
Wait.
Doce, trece, cuatro.
Before we continue, how was our energy level last time we did a double shift?
It
was crap.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, we need to get some alcohol in this bitch.
Get
some energy drinks from my man over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but we gotta get that sponsorship. We gotta get the bag first.
What's your alcohol?
What's my alcohol? Like when I do my annual
What's your
shot?
vice? No. What's your what's your vice? Like what would you say is like you indulging? Like a Snickers bar?
Yeah.
Probably
like outside
sugar.
of water.
Some sugar.
Some sugar, yeah.
What's your go-to?
Anything I can find in the house. Like I just need something. Like just some sort of carbs or some sort of sugar, something sweet.
I'm saying like if you're at the club, like you're DJing, like you want some sugar or some shit like that.
At that point, I don't ever crave, like unless I'm like in Singapore where my set's like at 2 a.m. and I'm stupid tired.
Yeah.
I might like usually Red Bulls on tap, so I might like have a half a Red Bull, but I try and power through and just not even fuck with it.
Yeah,
dude. DJ A-Man once at a Playhouse pulled out Twizzlers and Pocky sticks.
All right, let's go.
Like mid set, this man's handing me a Pocky stick. Like, yo,
you want to?
You good?
Yeah.
What the? Anyway, episode 11.
Yes, sir.
We're back in this and it actually might be the last time we're on this set.
Right. Yeah, because
DJ City's moving.
DJ City's making some
moving on up.
Oh, we moving on up and closer to the valley.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, don't tell nobody where we're at, man.
To the east side.
But,
we're going more east.
East side boys. We're moving.
Yep.
Bigger spot.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited. DJ City team, Beat Source team.
Yeah.
You know, got big teams, big rings.
Yep.
And big dreams.
Yep. So I have a question.
Yep.
And obviously connects with the song we just played. What is the difference between a city boy, a hot boy, and I don't mean this in any disrespect, but a fuck boy. Okay. And I only say fuck boy because I've seen some people call city boys fuck boys and some people call hot boys fuck boys. So I guess it's based on your perception. Well, what's the difference between the three?
Let me tell you the difference.
What's the
difference? This is the definition that they put in the Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
For anybody that's looking it up, because
I'm looking
obviously
it
was
up,
called Urban Dictionary. A city boy is basically someone that is focused on securing the bag, not letting any quote unquote hot girls get in the way.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
City boy.
They're living their best lives.
Okay.
Focusing, basically someone that's on their grind, focusing and pursuing whatever it is that they want to pursue. That's your city boy.
A male who is living his very best life and chasing the bag, emphasis on chasing the bag.
So he can be in a relationship.
At all times without letting hot girls or any female get in the way.
See?
Okay, well, you can still be in a relationship.
You can be in a relationship. Yeah, it doesn't say you can't be in a relationship. You can be in a relationship. You could be in a committed, happy relationship, right?
Only Rell can read the third. You read it.
The third one.
No, third one.
Oh, a real ass nigga who don't give a fuck about you stank ass bitches and it's about his money. Nigga, we on our city boy shit.
I dig it.
I ain't reading that.
Trap.
A hot boy basically is someone that is basically a drug dealer.
Ooh.
Right? A hot boy is basically someone that is out is loud about being a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying?
Now I wonder if that's the same definition from way back. What you need, I need a hot boy.
Yeah,
probably is.
I mean, it could be. You know what I'm saying? No.
One who is notorious for selling drugs. Someone who brings more attention than necessary to themselves in their dealing of drugs. Oftentimes gets arrested.
Exactly. One point. Now, the fuck boy.
Superfly ain't a hot boy. He kept it low key.
He kept it low key. Did he? Because look at the fits that he wore. You can say the same thing about Frank Lucas.
He wasn't loud.
He wasn't loud, but he still
Superfly, reason why he succeeded for so long was because he kept it under the radar until someone put him blasted. Someone.
Same thing with Frank Lucas. Yeah.
Well, he wore that stupid jacket his girlfriend gave him.
Exactly. So
I'd be pissed off. He's dumb.
But hey, he got pissed off. He burned the jacket,
he
right?
did, but it was too late.
It was too.
RZA got that ass. RZA got after him, killed his dog. And all.
Only Lucas I know is the candy.
A fuckboy is, I guess, that's kind of self-explanatory. Fuckboy is someone that is, out here running game, only cares about hooking up with bitches left and right, and
fuckery.
Just the fuckery. He's with the fuckery.
Rell's internal Urban Dictionary is on point.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
This is a really long definition. I'll try.
Just give us the short version.
Well, basically it says, asshole boy who is strictly in sexual relationships. He will lead a girl on and let her down, then apologize only to ask for pics once the girl has welcomed him back into her trust.
A woman wrote that.
Boys
a woman wrote this. I know what that sounds. That's a woman.
Boys like this will pretend to genuinely care about the girl, but always fail to prove the supposed affection. He almost never makes plans because he has to hang out on his terms, which could be the most whimsical of times.
Yeah.
And if the girl rejects,
No.
And if the girl rejects those plans because she has a legitimate reason for, this is definitely a woman that wrote this.
Yeah, listen.
Reason for not being able to hang out, he will get pissed. However, if plans are made and he will bail on them without a second thought, if a girl tries to stand up to this asshole, he will most likely
woman definitely wrote this.
Deny everything and turn it all around on the girl.
I don't give a fuck what your friend said.
Making it seem as though the conflict was at stake is her fault. And he has done nothing wrong and hates when girls bitch at him for no reason.
Out here. Look, you can't tell me anything. I'm out here.
I will say this. Hey,
hold on.
Go ahead.
The second part is great. He will always come crawling back because he is a horny prick.
That is a female.
We cannot withstand the dispossession.
Ain't no dude calling another
of
dude
one
a prick.
of his bays because he has more than one. That's for sure.
Yeah,
we have all, for the most part,
easy.
For the most part,
be careful.
In our past,
Watch out.
We've all been fuckboys at some point.
Oh,
sure.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
it's possible.
Saying. Oh yeah,
that's all I'm saying. At some point in your life, and I'm not speaking for all men.
Of course not.
There's some,
not all men, but all.
There's some quote unquote straight edge guys, and we salute them, and those guys that whatever the reason is.
Yeah.
But for the most of us, especially us DJs in this industry, we've had our moments in life where we've been fuckboys.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah.
I'm happily married. So
we passed that.
Especially happily married. We passed that. We older, we mature.
We passed the fuckboy.
You know what I'm saying? We passed the fuckboy phase. We've learned from those lessons that we've experienced, and we move on.
We're past that, and that brings us to our question.
Yep.
How to maintain a relationship with a woman while you're DJing.
Well, let's just say this industry, right? Nightlife industry a little bit.
Nightlife
industry. From our perspective, of course,
in
as
the
DJs,
industry, it's tough.
We touched on it a little bit last episode.
We teased y'all.
Well, it just seems to be a big topic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And I think I think it was Mike that said it. If your significant other is in the industry, it's a lot easier because they understand it. And
it could be worse because they know what happens in the industry.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that just comes down to the trust between you and your significant other.
Yeah.
But like what Mike also said in the last episode is if you were DJing prior to dating your significant other, then
you know what you signed
that
up
person
for.
You know what you signed up for. You know that this person is in the industry. You know it. For the most part, you have somewhat of an idea of what that means. You signed up for this shit.
Yep.
Look, man, everything is all hunky-dory at the beginning of the relationship.
Of course,
when you're in the honeymoon phase. You're like, look, baby, I got to DJ. I got to do what I got to do. It's cool. I trust you. You do your thing. I'm here to support you. And then when you get out of that honeymoon phase a couple months later,
real.
Oh, yeah, I saw that girl request that song. Yeah, what was that song she requested? Mm-hmm. You didn't play it, did you? Nah. Like you gotta all right, hey, back up, take a step back. It ain't even about the song. I've realized this.
Yeah.
It's not about song. You have an issue with girls in my ear, but you gotta understand that we were in a very loud situation.
It comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory. There's gonna be girls that are they don't even like me. They're just trying to get something on the gram.
Yeah.
And
there's going to be girls that do try to hit on you because they don't know that you're in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I don't want nobody that nobody's gonna hit on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like my girl's a DJ.
If they ain't looking, I
If
don't
they
want
ain't
her.
looking, I don't want her. You know what I'm
They
saying?
ain't
You should
looking,
be
I
like,
don't
cool.
want that girl.
The trust got to be there in a relationship. If your trust is there and you trust your partner and you guys communicate and that communication is solid and it's always there, then there should be no issues whatsoever.
Right.
Your understanding of what that person's goals are and what they're trying to accomplish in their career, and you know what I mean, in this industry, then if you're understanding and you're supportive, there should be no issues whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now, I think we talked about in the last episode, you said that the question that we got, that person they had a jealous significant other, right?
Look, this is what I learned growing up, and I'm gonna have fun with this, so please don't take me serious.
No, yeah.
This is what I learned growing up from when I was a kid, and this is what OGs taught me, and it really shined a light on me when I was in high school.
Okay.
Women are jealous creatures by nature.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
They are, and more. I mean, like men, we you know, we get our egos, and that can ultimately be our death.
Yep.
But when you give attention to one woman, and another woman has something for you, whether it's in a relationship or whether she just has a thing for you, she's not having it. She's not okay with that because they are territorial.
Okay.
Whether you're with a woman or not. I remember even back to high school when we're still trying to figure out who we are.
yeah.
And if I give attention to another girl and another girl like me, and I'm just like, but we're not even in a relationship. Why are you tripping? You know? So as far as I can remember, that's it. It's in a woman's nature to be jealous of one. It's a very competitive thing. Shit, it probably goes back to cavemen.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
ultimately,
I mean-
it's your what's the part of your brain, your primitive side of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
That is, you know, you kick in the survival mode.
Yeah.
You know, then you can take it to Darwinism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it
Survival
goes
of the
back
fittest.
to
Survival of the fittest. That's why we getting ass shots. That's why
Some
we
happened
getting,
to most of these girls when they were younger. Some
Yeah.
they experienced some young teenage dude or even younger who doesn't know themselves, like you said, trying to figure themselves out and did some foul shit, and they carried that on to the rest to their adulthood, and they always got that jealousy, and they always got to know what's going on. Are they doing this? Are they doing that?
But but and that part is like the tricky part, right? Because, and I think fortunately we live in an era now where it's the mental side of health, or the health of the mental state is even more dominant of a conversation. And I think, you know, I know we're really light on this topic, but at the end of the day, right, like giving advice to everybody else, like part of your job in a relationship is to break down some of those walls to understand each other better, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
The jealousy and all those things that we're talking about, and we're just speaking based on our experiences because we cannot speak on anyone else's.
Yeah.
Women, I mean, all of our women listeners, by all means,
chime in, please.
Chime in.
We want to
shoot
smoke.
us. Shoot
We
us
might
to
have
smoke.
episode 2 of this.
Right. We're good. We're probably going to need a follow-up episode.
We might have a pigeons to the
it's Scrubs.
Scrubs. We might have pigeons and Scrubs. Right.
Yeah, and so which is fair, you know, and all three of us represent different points of relationships, engaged, you know, relationship, living together, and then I'm still just chilling. But
hot boy.
Are you
I ain't a hot boy.
City boy. That's right.
All right,
I'll
take City boy.
I'm figuring it out.
You see these shorts? No, they crinkly for a reason. No, but getting back to the serious topic of things, I mean, it just comes down to being able to understand your partner better. You know, I've been through experiences where I've had to learn the hard way or by experience versus being able to talk through things. And, you know, I've dated in the industry a couple times, and it does and can complicate things based on, you know, other relationships or whatever. But I've been in different relationships in nightlife, and I understand the complications with it, you know, that come with that, whether it's just knowing different people or you might have hung out with somebody and it comes off the wrong way, that even if you just went with lunch with somebody, but they know each other, you know, and it might bring up a different kind of conversation that really starts on the bad foot, if you will.
Yeah.
But ultimately with the partner, I think it definitely comes down to just getting to know them beyond the attractions that first come, or
Yeah.
the hanging out, or
Yeah.
you know, liking some of the same things. You know, you have to have deeper conversations to understand how they really feel, and sometimes they won't tell you, and that makes it even more difficult.
Worse. Yep.
But I think,
Communication is key.
yeah, and so once you know, gain and earn trust, because none of that stuff is given off the bat, like you have to prove those things, and I think that's when things get healthier and better, I'm assuming, in the relationship. You know, you guys have been in long-term relationships now.
I think the best teacher you'll ever have is experience. So if you are in a jealous relationship, and you have to really take a step back from every encounter and just really dissect. And I kind of touched on this in the last episode when we went through our questions. So you need to take a step back and really dissect why this is happening, because I promise you it's not what's on the surface.
Yeah.
It's not this girl in your ear. It's not just whatever you're doing on Instagram. There's something that's triggering that reaction, because if she had confidence in herself, in her relationship, and she trusted everything about your relationship, this wouldn't be an issue. But something is triggering her to take a deep dive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's dig into it. Why is she reacting this way? Well, how well do you know your girlfriend? Do you know what she went through as a child? Does she know what she went through as a child? Does she?
Or
do
boyfriend?
You know? Do you know what her previous relationship was? Do you know what phobia was created when she was in junior high or high school? Like, we fall in love with these beautiful women because they're beautiful. And you know, we see things on social media that really attract us to these beautiful women, but you don't really know what their story is.
Yeah, you don't do the research.
So and it may be embarrassing if you've been dating this girl for a couple years, but you may want to take the time to be like, hey, I have a lot of questions, and I really don't mean to offend you, because I'm probably gonna sound like a piece of shit boyfriend, but I want to get to know you a little more, because I feel like if I can understand a little bit more about you and understand why these things are triggered, or why you feel this way, then I think we can get to the bottom of these issues. And I promise you, chances are it's something that's happened in the past that makes them feel insecure, that makes them react a specific way.
Yeah.
And it's probably something they saw you do while you were single.
Yeah.
Or they saw your friend do. If they see your friends are running around hooking up with all these girls, 100% she's going to connect that back to you and say, that's how they are. Chances are you're like this.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, my advice to these, to guys that are in these jealous relationships is really understand who your girlfriend is and where you're coming from. Because you may learn stuff about her 5 years from now, or months from now, and you'd be like, yo, I didn't know this going, because you never want to put your business on the streets when you first date a girl. Imagine if you go on a first date with the girl and she says, well, this is where I'm fucked. This is where I'm fucked up. I have these issues. I have these issues with this brother. I have this happened with this guy. And you'll be like, I'm good. No, thank you. So, you know, of course, you're going to learn this shit as you go.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to take a deep dive and figure out why she overlooks things or why she acts a specific way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. I mean, before you take that, like you said, the deep dive. Like at that point, maybe it's time to start asking some of those like more difficult questions to ask, and then going back. I mean, Kanye, some of the prettiest girls have the lowest self-esteem. Like, the reality is, like, we live in a world where like it demands perfection based on social media, and people want you to look a certain way, and you know, you take 100 pictures and only post one, and it's the best one. You know, people don't like sharing their flaws, but really our flaws and our failures and the things that we've learned from are the things that we've gained the most from, and we're not sharing that anymore. And so it gives this next generation this whole fucking concept that I gotta be like this, I gotta get to this level, or it's not worth sharing. Like, I can only imagine a DJ doing a gig somewhere that might have been a big deal to them, but because their boys are doing something bigger, they're not going to post it. Or they're not going to like recap it the way they could. And they're going to hold back because it doesn't live to the public perception. And so going back to the relationship side of things, like, it's just, you know, I can only imagine in this world, and today, like the level of just, you know, transparency and communication that's key to keep things healthy.
Yeah.
You know? So
Let me ask you this, Mike. You know, you're a single one. Joe and I are in relationships.
right.
How is it? And for our single listeners out there
Yeah.
that are probably dating, going on dates or whatever, how is it for you? Like, do you necessarily invite girls out to your gigs? Do you be like, hey, I'm spinning here, come out? Or do you feel like you gotta spend a little bit more time with a girl before you allow her to see you in that atmosphere?
Well,
or experience you in that atmosphere, I should say.
You know what's funny about that? Because and being single, it's like obviously it's a little easier to, there's no like line to have to respect in regards to like somebody else's feelings.
Yeah.
But you know, being someone who's trying to get back like into the real swing of things, like in a more consistent schedule, or just being busier in the nightlife world, because again, I used to do that 100% of my time, and now it's like 30% of my time, if that. And so, and that's counting the pod. So the reality is like I'm not as focused on it as much, but I have found myself to be comfortable and confident in building relationships with women in general.
Mm-hmm.
And the tough part about that is like I invite a lot of girls to gigs.
Yeah.
But not with the intent to like date them. I think I just invite them out because that's like, one, it looks good at the venue.
Yeah.
Right? No disrespect to my friends, my boys, but like, you know, at
We
the end
understand.
of the day, like women make
I'm
the
not
club
ugly.
go. You know, I mean, you're a good looking guy, man. So I'll give you
are
that.
for myself.
You too, Rell. I don't want to leave anybody out. Abner, you look great.
Bottom of the totem pole out.
Know your ranking. Know your ranking. Hey,
I just went
y'all
closest-
were invited to dinner, all right?
Closest
Y'all were
to
invited to
furthest.
dinner.
Closest to furthest.
Y'all made the top 16. That's something.
Oh my god. But anyway, like I invite women to my gigs, and I keep open like, you know, lines of communication and friendship with women. And like again, like there's no pressure. Like if you can make it out, you can make it out. You can't.
Yeah.
And then on the dating side of things, I've just at this point learned to just, you know, develop friendships. And, you know, if something else goes from there, or the conversations kind of change, which sometimes you can read, you know, then at that point that's a different conversation or a different type of hanging out. But at the same time, the tricky part of that is some women who you might be friendly with or invite out, they're thinking you're trying to get with them.
Yeah.
And like, that's not my intent.
Yeah.
Because it puts a different kind of pressure on you just being there.
Yeah.
You know, I've invited girls to dinners where it's like group involved, and it's just like, yo, like I just like having conversations and just getting to know people, and period, because I feel like there's something that we can all benefit from each other. And at that point, like, you know, it's just to evolve in life.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, there's certain gigs or experiences, or if there's like an out of town gig, like that's like a hard like ask, you know, unless you really know them or get to know them.
Yeah.
Because what if it's like a weird night, and then now you're stuck like trying to get to know this person while it's awkward.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just-
No, but one thing I want to say is attention. It plays a big role, and rightfully so. Your girlfriend or boyfriend is gonna want a lot of attention from you, and because you are traveling, you're working on music, you maybe have a day job or you got kids, and he or she may feel like, when are we gonna have time together? No, I'm not talking about going to the club and hanging out in your booth and drinking from your bottle. Like, I'm not talking about that kind of attention. I'm not talking about at the dinner table. Like, when are we going to spend time? So there's a balance to everything, right? For things to work, there's got to be a balance. So you have to give her your undivided attention. You got to create time for that. I know with my girlfriend, Sam, I create that time for her, especially right before I'm going to travel.
Yeah.
Like, I try and create that time. Or, you know, she wants simple things like, after we eat, let's watch in a couple episodes of
Big Bang
The
Theory.
Office, or Everybody Loves Raymond. It's great writing. You know? I'd fuck with the Golden Girls if it was out there. This shit's dope.
Man.
But
judgment.
Yeah. But yeah, like just little things. And she'll tell me like after 2 or 3 episodes, okay, I'm good. like, you know, you can go back to your music or do what you're doing. And I think just when you show that you're thinking about them, it makes them feel like, okay, there's two people in this relationship.
I got a question though.
Yeah.
I got a question from one of the DJs if we want to answer that.
Yeah. Oh, we do have to get to one question.
Yeah. Does that end our conversation on relationships?
Not quite.
No.
But
No.
I mean,
What else you want to throw in there?
I-
Okay, so we got to attention. Like, let's set up your night before you go DJ.
Mm-hmm.
How can you make your, let's just say woman, because we all have women and we deal with women. How can you create a happy situation for our significant other or a girl we're dating or a girlfriend or a fiance? So what we do, we go out, right? We'll go out to a movie, or if we don't want to spend money, we go walk the dogs at a park.
Did you just ask the question and answer it too again?
I'm trying to get things going. I'm trying to get brainstorming here.
I get it.
Jump in when you're ready. Jump in, all right?
God bless you. Thank you.
Oh my God. My bad.
All right.
Go ahead. Tell us what you do.
So you go out. You just figure out a way to give her your undivided attention. Okay, Rell, you're about to go on a tour, or you're about to go to Arizona on a weekend with Check 1 2.
Yep.
Jenna's staying home.
Yep.
What's
funny.
What's the game plan?
That's great. So last weekend I was in San Francisco for Check 1 2.
Perfect.
And I went out of town without my girl. You know, majority of the time because she works for the company, they try to set it up where we both go.
Yeah.
But she couldn't go with me this time.
Wasn't in the budget.
Was not in the budget. But yeah, like you said, so we usually spend time, whether that is have dinner with each other. We find something to do in that time. So
Yeah.
go out, go have dinner, whether it's the night before or the day before I have to go out or something like that. We have dinner. You know, I'll check in with her. If I'm at my gig, I'm like, yo, just checked in. Spot looks crazy.
Yeah.
Or it's
Bitches
dead in
everywhere.
here. There's dead in here. And
They
I'm
all
like,
hang
and
out
I'll
in
tell
there.
her, I'm like, man, these bitches in my ear right now.
There's
Like
20 girls in the booth.
Yeah, 20 girls in the booth.
all
They
want
got
your
bitches
man.
on I'll tell
Might
her
have
that
to
shit.
take one home for both of us.
Yo, and you know what the funny thing about it is? I'm extremely honest with her about that shit. I'm like, yo, this is bad bitch here. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? She got fat ass. And I'll say that to her. Like, but
Yeah.
understand
what I'm
something.
talking
My girl is extremely cool and open and like, you know what I mean? So
Okay.
She like
a lot of
corn.
she, you know what I mean? A lot of women are not like that. So going back to what you said, knowing your significant other.
Yeah.
Right.
I know my significant other. I know what I can say and what I can't say.
Joe, what
You know
happened
what
if
I
you
mean?
said that?
Yeah.
Oh, Sam would be down for it.
I know Sam. Sam would be
Sam
down
would
for
be
some
down
shit
for it.
like
Okay,
that.
all right.
Yeah. She wants to. She's like, yo, why? Like, look, you're a good looking dude. Why don't you? I know you got a lot of hot girls at these venues that come around the booth. Why don't you share these stories with me? I'm like, really, it's not like that. But if I do, I'll be more than happy to share these stories. Like,
Yeah.
if that's what you want, all right, let's talk about it. I told her about the escort situation. Fat ass, fat this, fat that. Girl was, injections everywhere. She's like, oh, tight. Okay, cool. And I was going to show her. I was going to send her your
Right,
link.
the IG.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that's what the reality is, knowing who they are and them being understanding and supportive, and them like, listen, he's a guy. He's gonna look at other girls.
Yeah, I ain't blind.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna look. We not doing anything more past that. You know what I mean? I'm not, even if there's a brief interaction, it's a how you doing? Maybe somebody introduced us to them. Oh, are you on Instagram? What's your social media? Then it becomes a business talk. All right, cool.
Yeah.
We going
If they
talk
really
shop.
want to find you, they'll find you.
They'll find you.
You don't have
You're
to
the
get
fucking
it.
DJ.
Yeah.
They're gonna find who you
Yeah.
are. You're saying your name. Someone's saying your name. You're playing your drop. They're gonna find who the
Yeah,
fuck
of
you
course.
are. There's flyers all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's not hard for these people. It's not hard for these people to look you up and find who you are. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they just understand that what it is. So like I said, check in with her. Night's going good. Blah blah. I check in with her throughout the night or the weekend that I'm away.
Yeah.
Here and then we'll have conversations, we'll FaceTime, whatever, and it just leaves her more at ease that, all right, cool, he checked in with me, we good. It's not like I gotta be on the phone and be constantly being like, no. It's a couple of hours go by. Hey.
And I'm not saying Jenna wants attention from you.
No.
But it's reassuring that you're
Exactly.
giving, like when I land in the city, I hit up Sam like, yo, just made it.
Yep.
And she'd be like, all I need to know.
That's all you need. And I feel like that's a small, like that's not even, you should want to do that. You know what I mean? You should want to tell your significant other, hey, I made it here. Or you should want to check in with that person and just being like, yo, this is what's going on, or this is what we're doing, or, you know, we're heading there. Like if you're saying, when we talked about the other episode, when you were saying it's good for DJs to get into a city earlier when they get booked, a day earlier when they get booked.
Right.
Hey, this is where we're going. This is where I'm heading at tonight. I'm gonna go see the spot I'm spinning at, or I'm gonna go check out this other spot with this other DJ that's working, or whatever. You know, just giving them the heads up of what your whereabouts are for not, but even more so on like just in case anything ever fucking happened to you, someone knows where the fuck you're at. You know what I mean? Like some shit went down at that club, and then be like, oh, you know, my man or my girl was there.
Right.
Like shit, let me check in with them and stuff like that. So I think that's just what it is. You know, keeping the check in, like you're saying, sharing, having a moment with them before you leave town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you're good. I think everyone is happy.
10-minute FaceTime conversation,
It's
even
quick,
if it's
you know
about
what I'm saying?
nothing.
About nothing. What you doing?
FaceTime me.
Yeah.
Check under the bed. Check in the closet.
Yeah.
Quick, what you
Anybody in the
wearing?
bathroom?
Yeah.
You know?
Shh. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
Never.
Go ahead.
But I want to say that there are situations where it's not going to be that easy and that perfect, because you have a string of bookings day and night, and your mind, your brain is fried, and it's from the sun, or it's just because you got your head wrapped around so tight on your business and what you're doing, and you want to make sure everything is perfect, and you're downloading music. Your mind's just on the bookings and the business.
Yeah.
She has to be, and this is what you create, she has to be comfortable and confident to know that if he doesn't hit me, it's all good. He's getting that money. He's got his head around his bookings. I'm good. I need to show strength right now.
Yeah.
Or I can reach out to him, and I know he'll be like, oh, shit, busy. I'll get back to you. You know, let me just finish this up real quick.
Exactly.
You know, I've been so busy, I didn't even think about you. You know, and that's reality. Sometimes you just, okay, what do I do now? You're not really thinking about your girlfriend.
Yeah.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, no offense to her. So, but she has to, but what you have to create before that happens, you have to create that confidence and trust before you put yourself in that situation.
Exactly.
And let her know. And it may take one or two times for you to go through this. You know, like, again, experience is the best teacher. You may need to let her know, like, look, I don't mean any disrespect when I don't reach out to you. My head is just somewhere else.
Yeah.
My head is on my business. And please don't take it as if I'm not thinking about you or I'm not considering you. It's just my head is somewhere else. So, but I need you to hold it down back home.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to have that attitude. He's locked in.
Yeah.
Let him stay focused. Let him stay locked in. And I trust that he's locked in.
Yeah.
And he will reach out to me when it's right. You know?
Exactly.
So you have to create, and then that's not up to the girlfriend. You have to create that within the relationship.
Yep.
Well,
Communication.
and there's a difference
understanding.
between like you not reaching out and like on your own versus her reaching out and you not responding, right?
Right.
Two different things.
Right.
And I think the only reason I bring that up is because I know what you mean in regards to like, I'm guilty, and this isn't just in relationships, like just in general, like I'm very difficult, or it's difficult for me to remember to reach out to people or check in or do whatever. That's a little more out of my character. But if somebody hits me up, I'm pretty much responding in seconds. Like if it's something that isn't like something I can't answer on the spot.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that's definitely a good understanding for each other.
Yeah.
And then I want to ask, because
Easy.
and I'll
Easy. Be
I'll
careful,
bring
Mike.
this
I'm
back.
still in a relationship. We're about to go to Cancun. Don't
Don't fuck yourself.
fuck this up for me when I get back and she hears this.
This is airing after. Love
break
you,
us up
love
right
you,
after.
Sam. No, you and I both had relationships, and you're still in the relationship with someone who was in the scene and nightlife, and I would say like one of the most sought out after go-go dancers in the LA nightlife market.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, my girl was a go-go dancer at Shrine.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
All right, we're gonna tie all this in together.
Okay.
And I was dating someone else who worked a lot with your girlfriend at the time, that also go-go danced. So with the other side of things, not just from the DJ side of like the pressures we'd receive, how did you handle the pressures and the different types of eyes
Yeah.
and attention that your girlfriend got.
Because it's a different ball game in that scenario, because think about what she has to wear.
Yeah.
Because let me kind of preface this a little bit, because I would get a little bit of, well, you're the man, you're the one in the spotlight, you're getting paid more, or what, because you know each other's situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on the flyer, like
Yeah.
you're the big thing.
Yeah.
You're getting all this attention from all these girls. In my case, I was actually even booking the go-go
The
dancers
go-gos,
for
yeah.
a while. So I was getting attention from her peers, right? Not Sam, but
Good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
Just
Moving
clarify
forward.
everything
All right,
around here.
all right, keep it
You
moving,
know,
all
it's
right.
good brotherhood right here. Just be careful. Just be careful.
Easy.
But what I'm saying, you know, like, you know, the schmoozing and all that stuff, and you're just being friends, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and some of that could get taken the other way. And then when you flip the script, and I'm thinking to myself, well, hold on, I'm the one that's fully clothed. Like, you're the one, like, you know, making that argument at the time. And again, I'm younger.
It's a valid argument, though.
No, right. I'm younger. Like, I don't really understand the dynamics of dating someone that has a lot of attention. In my case, my girlfriend, when I started dating her, and this was through a 4-year relationship, she had 2,000 followers, and when we broke up, she had 80,000. So like the attention,
The glow up.
the glow up was different, but also so were the pressures and
Yeah.
the DMs and the offers. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and as long as you know her character, then, you know, you don't question it
Yeah.
as much as much as possible. But what was your kind of point of view, and how did you handle that part?
You know, you probably won't believe me, but I really didn't even think about it until you brought it up now, like being half naked. Like, that never bugged me.
Yeah.
Going into a relationship with Sam, like, because to this day, if she says she's going to hang out with dudes, I'm like, all right, cool, have fun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
I don't second guess. Like, there's never been a thought in my mind that
Yeah.
she is messing around on the side. And that's, I wouldn't want it any other way, but even if like there was suspicion, I'd either have to talk to her about it. I mean, clearly you have to talk to her about it, or I can't allow that to impede or just completely get in the way of our progress together, of us growing together. Because it's just a thought in your head until something gets revealed, you know? And I think that's the issue with, that seems to be the issue with the jealousy situation. So if I were to put myself in that position, let's say Sam was hooking up with or not hooking up, but like, I thought there's something fishy going on when she's go-go dancing, and it's more, it's more than just the fishnet stockings, you know what I'm saying? Because it's fishy. So let's say I thought there was something more going on.
You're such a dad.
I'm either bringing it to her attention. Well, yeah, I'm gonna bring it to her attention, but I can't. And I need to feel it from her.
Yeah.
Look, Joe, like, this is just my line of work, and you know this. You knew this before we met.
You knew
Obviously,
what
because you see me,
for.
you knew what you signed up for. Like, this is what I got to do to get by. I'm in college. I'm gonna be a social worker. This is what I'm doing for now. Like, I don't plan on doing this forever. Like, you got to trust me on this.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I mean, it's a little deeper, but all right, cool. And I have to run with that. I have to believe that, and I have to be present and focus on what's going on in this moment. Because whether it happened or it didn't happen, I can't think about that anymore.
Yeah.
I got to focus on, what do I got to do? What does Joseph have to do now? Like, Mike, what do you have to do now? You can't be thinking about all that BS. You got a business to run. You got bookings to get to. You know what I mean? That's in my, I've never had that issue with her.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have an issue with the outfits at all. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
shit, I think I suggested most of the outfits in some of the situations, but you help them get dressed like this color or that color, you know, like, I got you. But I think it maybe more so it's like situations where, like, you know, they've, again, like how they might have gotten in a relationship with us and we were DJs before the relationship. They were go-going before we got in the relationship.
Yep.
So we knew what we were signing up for.
Yeah.
And we knew the attention. And sometimes the only part that I found challenges in understanding might have been like, you know, there's like friends or promoters or guys that might be a little more handsy, or like, you know their reputation and like if they're gonna go work with them at their party, or like there's been there could be a situation where like, hey, this budget's this, but this guy will personally pay for more because I'm coming, and it's like, all right, like we're like, obviously communication is the key there, right?
Yeah.
And understanding the relationships and the friendships there. And so I think it was just a good exercise for us to be able to give a little perspective. And with Rell, your girl's DJing now, and as you just mentioned that she used to go.
Yep.
How do you feel? I think you covered a little bit of this in the past,
Yeah.
but like with her DJing and the attention she might get as a DJ.
I mean, I just give her the same respect that I would want from her. You know what I mean? Like just that understanding. Like we know what comes with the territory. Fortunately for me, she wasn't DJing before we started dating.
Got it.
She became a working DJ after we started dating, and I just because I'm a DJ, I have that understanding. So I think it's a little easier for me than if the scenario was a little different. So yeah, I just give her the same respect. I like I said, I hang back. I let the guys come up and chop it up. I'm telling you, man, she's on the verge of getting booked way more than me. She's a female. She got a beautiful smile.
So
people
woman
gonna see her.
DJ, good woman DJ.
Yeah, exactly. People gonna come up to her. Guys come up to her all the time, and for the most part, believe it or not, most guys come up to her with the interest of either booking her or want to know, believing that you're a dope DJ. I want to see other spots that you're spinning at, as opposed to like trying to hit on her and being like, yo, what's the situation? Because she got a ring on her fucking finger. So
the other part that before we kind of wrap things up on the topic or close to this pod shit, was it's a different time also, right? So like social media access, and it's really easy to find people if you run into them or whatever. And for women in particular, it's also a different world, because I'll say this based on my experience. I used to hold one of my ex-girlfriends, I used to give her shit about going to like comp dinners. And then, but I was detached from the industry at this time, right? I was focused on the store. I wasn't really going to many industry events. I wasn't networking as much. But her and her girlfriends, and the whole idea that, you brought up at the beginning, where it's like, they're a similar feather, they flock together, or whatever that saying is.
Yeah. Birds of a feather.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and so, might have heard whispers or things about her friends, or whatever, and you start to feel like, all right, well, you're kicking it with her, and you're kicking it at the same dinners.
Yeah.
Like, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, what's really good?
Escorts,
And-
motherfucker.
This motherfucker.
Your territory, my bad.
Yeah.
But no, but then, I'd start questioning it and realizing like, well, number one, obviously I had my own insecurities that I had to work with at the time, because I'm not out. I'm not seeing how this works.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, as I started to network again and more, I'm finding myself at comp dinners every weekend. And I'm like, damn, am I the escort?
You freaking thought.
but the reality is, like, as you build the relationships and the right people, and you send a couple gift bags and here and there, and like, at this point, anything is possible, right?
Yeah.
Like
Anything is possible.
You get into any club, you could, you build the relationships, you do the things the right way, you give a fuck about their actual life, and not just trying to be a contact. Like, I've never gone to a venue or dinner or whatever trying to come up with like a contact, right? It just gets built because you have a natural conversation and your energy's right, and that's where it goes. That's how it should be done.
Yep.
Reference episode 1.
Boom.
Do's and don'ts. But all I'm saying is I had to go full circle and get back into the scene to help me understand that my girl at the time was just being a part of what's a normal thing in this society, in this nightlife world. Like, if a girl is pretty and she works in the scene, and normally those two things line up, like, they're going to get invited to a lot of events.
Yeah.
And you just have to respect and understand, like, look, the more she's seen, the more her business can go up, whether she's a server, whether she's a bartender, whether she's a manager or she's go-go dancing. Like all of those things play into effect because if you're seen, people remember you. Right? Out of sight, out of mind. That's how you lose work.
Yep.
You know, you got to be out. And so, yeah. Had to learn that.
Well, that was very healthy. Rell, what's your question from our faithful listener?
Question. Let me grab that for you guys. All right.
Well, Joe, let me ask you real quick while he finds that. How do you feel, or how the honeymoon stage is kind of like automatic, right?
Yeah.
It's fresh, it's new.
Yeah.
You're like, you don't really know each other's problems, so it's hard to like hate on something.
Right.
But you know all the good things on the surface, right?
Right.
How do you, and would you advise anybody out there to keep that phase or that feeling like active years down the road? Like, do you do anything special? Does she like flowers? Does she like some like food?
Being present, and you know, when you talk about flowers, being spontaneous, like, hey, let's just go out and do this, or something on a whim. But yeah, I think that's the best way. If it really means something to you, if issues come up, you need to do a deep dive. All right, why does this keep happening? Just so you can understand, and just so she is aware. But, and like Mike and I were talking in the car, the more she tells that story of what happened to her, becomes her story moving forward, becomes the story of why you guys aren't progressing.
Be careful.
So
be careful.
So understand, if it comes to why you need to do a deep dive, get to the bottom of it and then let it go.
Yeah.
Stop allowing that to be the story for you guys and more importantly for her health.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep saying be present, because if you're present, you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about the future, you're just enjoying the moment. Yeah.
True.
Question.
Talked about if managers at clubs and venues, if a manager at a club / venue is putting limits on what you can play as a DJ. For example, he said if you're doing a gig in like Idaho and the club manager says not to play much hip hop, but the crowd you're playing for loves hip hop, what do you do?
Yeah, someone slid in our DM with this question.
I think that just comes down to the leverage and the position of that manager. Like, are they the ones booking you? Do they control that? Because that's just, do you want to play there again or not? Like, it's pretty simple. It's like, there's no gray area. Just because you know what the crowd wants doesn't mean that that's what you should give them.
Yeah.
It comes down to what the venue wants. And you hear that, which is basically a watered down version of don't let it get hood in here, or they feel that you're going to attract a certain kind of crowd, which they won't tell you that shit.
Yeah. Well, they'll always promote the party as a top 40 night, but they want to hear hip hop.
Which is bullshit. I mean, top 40 right now is hip hop.
It's hip hop, exactly.
So that just sounds like a dated club and a dated mentality.
I mean, he did say
which
Idaho.
Happens in a lot of small towns.
He did say Idaho.
For
example.
But Idaho. But at the end of the day, you have to go by the boundaries you're given.
I think once you're aware of this,
or play somewhere else.
If you want to continue to play there, I think once you're aware of this, you need to when the manager is sober, you need to get on a call with him or email and express, look, this is what the people want.
Yeah.
And this is what you want me to give them. Can we make this work to where everybody is happy?
And compromising.
Because and you can let them know, look, as far as I know, if you promote the night as a specific kind of night, it usually keeps away the wrong crowd, But and then when we get into it, I'm gonna maybe I can sprinkle some of that stuff in, because they know what they hear on the radio.
Yeah.
They hear Migos, they hear Drake, they hear Cardi.
Yeah.
They once in a while you'll get your Pop Smoke comes out of nowhere, and that's a thing on the internet. So I think you need to have a conversation with this manager, and if he's not buying it and you're not happy, then move on. Yeah. When you feel like that's the only check that you're gonna get, then you're limiting yourself. But if you feel like if you truly feel like I can still manifest money and still figure out a way to get paid without this guy, then do it.
Yeah.
You should be doing it regardless. You should see it like that, because you ultimately want to DJ when you're happy,
Exactly.
or you want to be happy when you're DJing.
Yep. I agree. Have that conversation with that promoter. Sit down, explain your perspective from the DJ booth. And
Actually, a good question would be: is a promoter even like there
that's what
hanging
I'm
out?
saying.
Is he paying attention, or is he just not there, or is he just running around not paying attention?
Yeah, I mean, I guess all those things come into play. Is he the promoter? Is this promoter the person that's hiring you? You know what I mean? Are they present when the night is going? I'm going to assume that they're present if they're saying not to play hip hop.
Yeah,
Right.
Because, like you said, they're not trying to attract a certain crowd. You know what that means when they're not trying to attract a certain crowd. So you know what, if you're an experienced DJ, you know what that means. You know what not to play, what you can play, and what you can get away with. You know what that means. So I think it's just a conversation that you should have with that promoter, GM, whoever that booker is.
yeah.
For that place. And I mean, again, it turns out now if this is some promoter that, you know, that's a side promoter or sub promoter that's not booking you and saying, yo, don't play hip hop, go kick rocks, my dude. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm going to play what's going to keep. Because at the end of the day, if you're a promoter or you're a GM and your end goal is to make money,
It's a business move.
It's a business move. So at the
Hip
end
hop
of the day,
pushes bottles.
exactly.
I mean, assuming it's hip hop.
This is
that's
what I'm
the
saying.
issue.
If you're saying the crowd, if the DJ is saying that the crowd loves hip hop, then hip hop is what's going to keep the people there and go to the bar. And I'm taking, obviously, if this is a smaller city, it's probably a smaller venue. Bigger venues don't normally say don't play hip hop in it. You know what I mean? Like they want a nice mixture of stuff. That's what if you are dealing with people who are buying tables, that's what's going to keep these guys. These people that's there to buy bottles and continue on to do it because they're hearing the shit that they want to hear. So just have that conversation with that promoter or that booker, whoever that person is, and just express your perspective and how you feel and what could be a good idea of approach that you guys can compromise on and just move forward. But like you said, if you're not happy, then shit, go elsewhere.
You know what? I'm going off the cuff here. I've never tried this, but what if you were to tell the booker, promoter, manager, whoever, look, hip hop pushes bottle sales, right? So fine, you don't want it. You don't want to be played. Let's just say when we want our second wave of bottles to come out, let's say I start playing some hip hop at 1:15, and let's see if that pushes more bottle sales for that last, that second win, that last hurrah. See if we can squeeze more money out of them, and if it becomes a thing, and they look, end of the day, they're gonna look at the numbers because you know what's gonna happen if they say no hip hop, and they stop booking, and DJs stop playing hip hop. Chances are their numbers are going to go down because that's what everyone wants to hear. So they'll figure it out. They'll get smart and say, look, let's meet. I see where you're coming from. Let's meet in the middle. What if I started playing like the hip hop, like the second half of the night so we can get more bottles to be sold? Because when I remember doing shows with Foo at Excess in 2013 where no hip hop was played at Excess. Yeah. And when I would jump back on after a 2-hour Red Foo set of high energy EDM, they would say, just play hip hop. Yeah. And I'm like, are you fucking crazy? No, it's cool. Just play hip hop. Like they would say, and then they would say, keep playing hip hop. Just keep doing it because more bottles are flying out. Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, we're playing hip hop. We lose our shit.
That was our favorite time of the night.
Yeah. And so it just like Excess got it. They like, just tell the DJ, keep doing that. So it depends on who you're dealing with.
Yeah,
if they're smart enough to adapt.
Yeah, I think we would, to give a better or a more in-depth answer or response, we would just need to know a little bit more details on what the scenario. So but
I think we covered a lot, so hopefully.
Exactly. And if you want to find a nice little middle ground, there's plenty of awesome hip hop remixes and rap remixes on DJcity.com.
Yeah, there you go. Nice
you'll
plug.
be able to get all the exclusives on there. Yeah. And, be able to play records that don't sound hip-hop while still providing for your managers with their opinions and stuff. Yeah. But, man, that flew by.
It did. Really did.
Good job,
Episode
boys.
11.
Episode 11. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes, sir.